everybody? Welcome to the Marc Jackson Show. I'm your host, Marc Jackson, of course, and I have a gentleman you are going to love to hear. Not just love to hear him, but you're going to be educated today. Promise you. I have my man, Mr. Herman Dolce from Bella Sloan Enterprises. My man, how are you?
So Jackson, I appreciate you.
How's everything going for
Everything is going good, man. I'm feeling good today, man. How about you?
you? Hey, I'm blessed. I woke up. That's all I can do.
Health is wealth, family is good.
There it is. I love already dropping jewels.
There you go.
Listen, before we get to your company, I need to know about you. Tell us about Herman Dolce. Tell us about you.
So Herman, born in Brooklyn, but Philly raised me.
Oh, there it is.
Philly raised me. I'm first generation. My parents came here in the late 70s from Haiti, thus the name Hatian. The CEO came later in life.
Okay.
We moved to Philly when we were 11. Me and my family, it was 5 of us in an apartment. When my brother Kevin came, my dad was like, it's time to go, right? And I watched my parents bootstrap, save up money, put a down payment on a house in Philly, and Philly did the rest. Philly raised me. Temple University grad, TU.
Say it again?
Temple University.
See, you know how we do it. You
TU.
all over.
Then I went and got my master's from Lincoln University.
Okay.
Amazing school. And then I became a social worker. I started my first company, a cleaning company, around that time because I needed multiple streams. I at least knew that then, that just one job wasn't going to cut it. I also did mobile therapy for children. So I wore a lot of hats.
Versatile.
Yeah, versatile. I was a social worker, so I did a lot of things. And then Haitian CEO came into existence when I got some mentors because I was exchanging time for money. And I was realizing I wasn't getting ahead. I was truly caught in the rat race, exchanging dollars for hours. And I got some mentors, and then my life has never been the same.
You know, we talk about people, you heard it when you're growing up and you hear the word in financial, you hear the word, you have to have multiple streams. You hear that, but you also is diverse.
Right.
You have to diversify your portfolio, you hear.
Absolutely.
And that don't necessarily mean like what stocks, it means how you do life, how you invest, how do you bring in them streams.
Correct.
So tell me, let's go to your company now. Let's go to Bella Sloan.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what brought that concept of I need to start this enterprise.
It's one of my favorite stories to tell. So shout out to my amazing, beautiful wife, Janelle. We're about to celebrate 10 years this August.
Oh, congratulations.
Can't believe she stuck around. She got pregnant and we did something called a baby moon. A lot of people don't know what's a baby moon.
Tell me about that.
It's like the last vacation you take before the kid comes, right? Because your life is not going to be the same. Take a baby moon, right? My life has not been the same the past 5 years. Shout out
But
to them.
that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Absolutely. So we're on a train, bro. We're in Italy, right? And we're going to Pisa. I forgot where you're coming from, Venice or whatever, but we're on a train going to Pisa, and I'm looking at my wife pregnant, and I'm passing the vineyards, and I was like, man, like, I had to ask somebody's permission to be here, right?
To go on
vacation.
Vacation,
To go on vacation, and if they had said no, I couldn't have done it, right? So I was processing that, and then I used all my vacation time, all the time I had to go on a vacation, because you can't go to Italy for a weekend. You got to spend some time out there, so we spent 2 weeks out there. Got back, my child was born. I spent the day with her, and that day I spent with her, I couldn't get paid for it because I ran out of time. But I had to go back to work. But thank God I have a.
And at that time, what was your career at that time?
I was a social worker.
Social worker
at that time. But thank God my mom was took her time off, and she helped with my wife in taking care of Bella. And I was complaining to my brother about that whole process and thinking, shout out to Kevin, and he was like, bro, unless you own your own, you'll never be free. So you have to start something. And I didn't have any true entrepreneurship processes going on in my head, never really understood it. You see people do it, not really understanding it. Let me pivot a little bit.
Okay.
My father, right, he was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, I want to be a teacher, I want to be this, I want to be that. No, I told him I wanted to start a business. I want to get into real estate.
Your father's Haitian, right?
My father's Haitian. Mm-hmm. My father was like, he was like, what do you think, you're Fred Trump's son? Fred Trump is Donald Trump's father. Yeah. My dad worked for Fred Trump.
Really?
He's like, what do you think, you have a rich father? You think you get into real estate? And I was like, I didn't know what to say, right? Because Donald, he got his education. A lot of his assets from his father was passed down. He's like, you can't get into real estate. Like I kind of told you offline, my father prepared me for a world that no longer exists. He didn't have the mindset, capacity, or knowledge to give me certain information, but he gave me a lot of information. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, assets, passing down assets. He didn't have that information, so he knew what he knew. So he thought he was passing down the right information. I have a tagline that's called "Audit Your Circle."
What is it called? Say it again.
Audit your circle.
Audit your circle.
Right? And auditing your circle, some people think it's your outer circle. No, it's your inner circle. My dad couldn't give me the best financial advice or life advice when it comes to being a millionaire. My dad wasn't a millionaire, so how could he teach me how to become a millionaire?
He didn't give you what he had.
He didn't give me what he had. But pivoting back, my brother was like, start a business, and he was like, that credit stuff that you do, he's like, start charging people for it. And at the time, it was information, and I was like, you charge for information? That's crazy. He's like, you charge for the information, you're fixing their credit, they're gonna pay somebody, so they might as well pay you. So I did a couple of my friends for free, posted it on social media, and then I started to get some traction. And that was the beginning of Bella Sloan Enterprises, named the company after my daughter, because I wanted to be able to hand her something. Here's what daddy built. I'm out of here, right? Because my time will come, and I want to make sure I leave them something. A wise man leaves fortune for his children. So my daughters are rich. I'm working on my grandkids now.
There you go. It passed down generational knowledge, which can help generational wealth.
Right.
So tell me, I got to ask this question because you were on your baby moon, is it called?
Baby moon, yeah.
Baby moon, and you have the vision of the company and what you wanted to do with it.
Right.
And then your children were born. Your daughter, your first daughter is
Bella Sloan, yeah.
Your second daughter?
Olivia Monroe.
Olivia Monroe, beautiful name.
Thank you.
How did you balance starting up your company and your family life?
So you have to be honest with people, right? There is no balance, right?
You got me? You got to say it again?
There is no balance.
Listen in the back.
I'm talking to a former NBA star, right? Something is first, something is second, something is third. What you just say just now, you was like, nah, that cuts into my workout time. I won't be available, right? So that balance is very difficult. I remember, hope my wife doesn't get pissed for this story. I remember, bro, we was in Mexico.
Edited it out, don't worry.
We edited it out. We was in Mexico like in December, and my wife was like, I had to take a call, and I'm with the family. We're at a wedding. When people take me to destinations wedding, I take my entire family with me. It's like an excuse to get. It's an excuse to get away. So we got away, and I had to take a call. And my wife was like, "Why'd you taking a call? We're on vacation." Da, da, da. And I was like, "Come here for a second." And I was like, "This call pays for all of this, right? So I gotta take this 15-minute call. I truly apologize." And then later at dinner, because she was really upset about it, I was like, "Man, listen, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, they had to have real conversations with their wives and with their families like, hey, I love you, but basketball is first. Basketball is one.
People not going to understand that.
They're not going to understand that. They had to have that tough conversation like basketball is first. Because if you are first, then there's certain things I have to stop. Listen, basketball is first.
Cut you off. You got to repeat that. You got to repeat that because that's something I learned later in life.
Yeah.
Say that part again about who has to be first.
Listen, sometimes that dream, that focus, it has to be first. And it's a really tough conversation. And listen, to my gentlemen out there, if you're not ready to make anything else first, second, or third, then whatever your goal is, then it should only be that. Don't go get a family. Don't get married. Because there's a lot of sacrifice that is required of your circle to make sure that you are awesome and to make sure you are great. So Kobe had to have a conversation with his wife. Listen, I need you to hold down the kids. I need you to go to games that I'm not able to go because I'm going to be on the road, right, for 40-something games. Same thing LeBron had to say, right? So I had to have that tough conversation with my wife. I'm like, babe, I think I'm building something great. I think it's going to be, I don't even know what it's going to turn into. Listen, 4 months later, I'm sitting down with Marc Jackson. This is crazy, right? So I don't know what this is going to turn into, but it's going to require my time. But I promise you, when it's your time, I'm going to make it your time, right? So this is the only phone call I'm taking during this vacation, but there's going to be times I might have to skip out. I might have to do this. Listen, shout out to the Q Connect who put this together. She just put me to the side. She's like, we have to be in Vegas for the fight. I was like, I'm going to Disney World that week. She's like, we have to be in Vegas for the fight. So I have to have an awkward conversation on my ride home. Hey, babe, yeah, listen, y'all can stay, but like I'll be there the first 3 days. The last 4, I have to be in Vegas. You have to be in Vegas? That's going to be an awkward conversation.
You hear Vegas. And you hear Vegas, you're like, oh, really?
And your mind goes everywhere. But Janelle's extremely supportive in helping building this amazing brand.
Shout out to the missus.
Shout out to the missus.
The better half.
Yeah.
We got to get it done. We need them, right?
We need it done.
So you have a wonderful wife, but I also noticed, and you have beautiful children. I also noticed that you have a good team around you. So tell me about who do you surround yourself with? Not just you, but how do you you tell young entrepreneurs or people that want to better themselves financially in the financial world, the group of people they must, or the people they have in their circle?
So I first want to start by saying I think this International Women's Month. So I think I want to say that, right?
Yes.
So number one, I'm surrounded by amazing women, right? So I want to talk about the women first to go into your question. I think, shout out to Mike. I think Mike's the only man that works on my team.
Oh,
I'm almost certain of it, right? But the women that I surrounded myself with are absolutely incredible, right? First with my CEO, Damaris, my vice president who runs the credit repair portion of the business, Jasmine, Q, Q from Q Connect. You got Lauren, you got Savvy, and so many other women's names. I don't want to forget anybody, but I surrounded myself with these amazing, nurturing women that take care of Bella Sloan like it's their own company, just the nurturers that they
take care
are,
like their own child.
like it's their own child, right? So I'm in good hands. So I built an amazing team around me. So we'll shift from the women just to having a good team, right? Because I am stubborn, right? Look at this. I am stubborn. And it's hard to convince me to change, but I had to put alpha women around me.
Ooh.
I had to put some alpha women around me. These women run their own businesses, right? And they consult and they help Bella Stone in a lot of different ways. And sometimes they got to choke me up. Sometimes I say no. Sometimes it's nasty emails and text messages. But I need those people around me because I don't need yes men just because I pay a couple of bills. Like, nah, Herm, this ain't gonna work.
And I got to say that because a lot of people who are striving for success think they have to have yes people around them because they think they know everything.
Right.
We have other people you respect and they respect you. You can share information, exchange of information, and that's very important that you respect them enough to take their feedback and they gave it and you taking the same thing.
Right. You know what else is important, bro? And actually my father taught me this. If my success isn't contingent on you getting paid, or my success isn't your success, this is different advice that's given. So Lauren, Q, Savvy, they're going to be good whether I'm successful or not.
Yeah.
So that tells me the advice they give me is in my best interest.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, I care. That's what I'm telling you to do. You. Like, I don't care, right? Do you. I got other clients. I'm going to be all right. But I'm trying to help you out. I think this is the best course of action that we can take. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. But it has put me clearly in rooms that I didn't think I would be in.
So let's switch. Let's change a little bit. Let's talk about fundamentals of credit.
Okay.
Let's help teach now about the fundamentals of credit.
Okay. Credit changed my life. It put me in a position that I didn't think I would be put in, right? And this financial literacy component that we're very passionate about right now helped change lives, right? I am the Haitian CEO. I am financially independent because I got my credit together early in life. And because I got it together early in life, it gave me access to capital to help me fund my dreams. So it's not just having a good credit score. I tell people that all the time, a good FICO score. It's about having a good profile too. Because believe it or not, it's very easy to get a 700 credit score. But banks look at that profile too, the resume of your credit. Yes. Your credit is your adult report card. So how many credit cards do you have? How many student loans do you have? Do you have a car note? Have you been paying it on time for a lengthy period of time? Because if you've been good for a lengthy period of time on the personal side, and I like talking about business funding, then you can get more funding on the business side. When people say I can't afford credit repair, I was like, you can't afford not to. So let me tell you why you can't afford not to. That Dodge Charger that you want to buy so bad at 15% interest because your credit score is $600 is costing you $1,000 a month versus somebody who invested, and I say invested $1,000, $1,500 to fix their credit, right? Now they're at a 700 credit score, and that same car you're driving, they're paying half. And you multiply that times 5, 6 years. So that $1,500 or that time that they invested to learn how to fix their credit, they're saving thousands of dollars. And that's just a car note. What about your student loans? What about your house? That's why I tell people you literally can't afford not to have good credit. And then it translates on the business side, the capital you're able to get when you have good credit on the personal side and you want to personally guarantee your business. When I first started Bella Sloan, we didn't have any money, but I had good credit. I went to a bank. They gave me $25,000 because the Bella Sloan Enterprise is $25,000. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Went to another bank. They gave me another 20. I was like, I got $45,000 in a day. You know how long it takes somebody to earn $45,000 in this country? Exactly. And now I got this capital, 0% interest in the business name. It's not showing on my personal. And that's when I started my first real estate deal, flipped the property. And I was I was hooked after that.
Really.
I was hooked after that.
And you know, so if when you follow my man on social media, I like how you give receipts.
Yeah.
Receipts, people meaning we show proof on what we do.
Success has receipts.
There it is.
Yeah.
And you know, which is real interesting to me is I had this off camera. I told him, I said, you're not taking people to fish. You're teaching them how to fish.
Absolutely.
You're creating generational knowledge, that generational wealth. You know, so we see this on social media. We see what you stand for. What do you want to do next? What's next for your company?
So
For you or your company?
So what's next is, and like you just said, teaching has become more my passion, and spreading this information is kind of like my gospel. Because what I started to notice, bro, in the business is that I'm having late 20s, 30, 40-year-olds, even 50-year-olds coming to me considering me their mentor. And I was like, I'm younger than you. They're like, listen, I've never heard this information before, right? So my goal now is to get this information in as much hands as possible. But what I really started to learn is if you don't have this information at 30, 40, 50, that means you didn't have it at 16, 17, 18, right? You wasn't getting it in college. That financial literacy literally was not being taught to you. So right now our passion is getting this information into young hands as soon as possible. So you have options, you have leverage, and also you have power when you have this information really young. And so shout out to Q and to Lauren, who is getting us into high schools. They're getting us into college universities. So the goal is to, at some point, have my financial literacy program in different high schools and colleges nationwide. That's the big goal. And right now, they keep putting me in rooms with athletes like yourself, because a lot of athletes have been getting in contact with Bella Sloan Enterprises, and they don't have this information either. In my mind, NFL rookies, NBA players, there has to be some rookie symposium where they're telling you about LLCs and EINs, putting your stuff in a holding company, a trust. Why is Nike paying LeBron James and not paying LeBron James Enterprises? Why is that not happening? Because they don't have that information. So I'm getting in rooms where I'm teaching these athletes this information, saving them money, so they have more assets and power to pass down to generation to generation. So that's the greater goal.
I love that, man. And as an athlete and as a person, also a father, that I love that we spoke again off camera about what we teach our children and how they grow from that. But let's go back. So tell me about some of the programs you have that you're just starting with high schools.
So with high school kids now, you see the landscape is changing with the NIL, right? Name, image, and likeness. And it's a lot of money that's about to come through. Can you imagine if you had gotten $500,000 or $1 million at 17, 18, 19-year-old? Your parents couldn't tell you anything, right? And then that money is gone in 5 minutes. So
if that,
right,
it's just gone before you even get it.
Gone before you even get it. Half of it is gone just on taxes,
Which
right?
they don't know nothing about.
Which they don't understand anything about. So I forgot where we went. Yeah, we went to Chicago, and here's how I opened up that class. I was like, hey kids, how many people want to go pro? Blah, blah, blah. They was like, great. So you get a contract with Gatorade, right? And Gatorade gives you $1 million. If they pay Herman Dolce $1 million, half of it is gone in taxes.
And they look at you like you're crazy.
They look at you like you crazy. Or, and we listen, the lawyer fees, the agents, they haven't even been paid yet. So imagine if they paid Herman Dolce Enterprises or Herman Dolce Global, they handed that check to them. Now it's being taxed differently. What if I told you it's being taxed 20 or 30%? And they're like, what? I got their attention at that point.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like, just because I have that piece of paper, just because you have that piece of paper. Talk to your tax professional. But just because you have that piece of paper, you're going to have the write-offs and the benefits of doing that. Putting that money into a trust or putting that money into real estate so you could depreciate the taxes even more. Giving them that type of information early and setting them up to understand that $1 million I need it to last beyond the 10, 15 years you're gonna be playing, by investing it now, by living on a little bit now. Because I want you to have money forever.
And you know, so as an athlete and a person who when I first got my contract, and then I signed a few contracts, I signed my big contract. With me, at one point you can give knowledge, but a lot of people don't take knowledge.
Execution.
And there, you know, it's very important that you not just grab it, you run with your plight. You say, oh, I hear you, but I'm not going to do it. So it took me some downfalls of like losing a lot of money. And then I said, okay, I will listen. I will execute what you're telling me to do.
Right.
And then it goes up from there. And now we can start so young. And, you know, and it's not just that. What about HBCUs?
Man, listen.
That's the address.
We to get this into our communities early changes generations, changes the narrative, and it changes the race, right? Because it's wealth and capital that is not in our communities, right? And the access to the information that we are giving will give them access to that wealth and assets that they didn't have before. Because people come to me all the time and they're like, hey, I want to buy this property, I want to invest in this, but I have no money. And I was like, well, money is the easy part. And they're like,
Hey, look at
they look at me like I'm crazy. I was like, listen, I can give you $30,000 before you can save it, before you can work for it or earn it. They're like, you sound crazy. I was like, how's your credit looking? If your credit is halfway decent, I say, if you have a 680 credit score, I can get you $25,000 in your business name. Go get the LLC. I got you. And when you give that first person that 25 grand from one bank, and we can go to several banks to raise their own capital, listen, I'm going to give you the money so you can dump it to fund your dreams. Because a lot of people that come to me, they have amazing ideas, but they have no capital, no resources, and no direction, no business plan to help them be put in position to win. So going to these HBCUs, right, giving them this information, right, it's a generational shift, man. I'm excited to be part of that. The tour is going to be crazy when we start it up. And again, I have these wonderful women around me that's going to help me build something that's going to be incredible.
So let's talk about the LLC. So just let's give a quick lesson on
Yeah.
how should they go about starting an LLC.
So getting an LLC is basically getting something, a business. Now, of course, I'm just naming it Herman Dolce LLC, but you can name it whatever you want. But one thing the banks do pay attention to is they don't like when your business is high risk. If it's high risk, you're not going to get a lot of capital. You know what's high risk? Real estate, trucking. Those are high risk businesses. So you don't want to call it Herman Dolce Real Estate Company. So that's why it's called Bella Sloan Enterprises. It's more of a general name. We do consultation. So the name is important. You want to look like a real business and get real money from a real bank. You want to look super pro. So sometimes when you get an LLC, everybody puts their home address. Now that's not a good idea. You want to
You
have
also mentioned your home phone number.
Yeah, your home phone number. So no, you want to look like a real business. So get a real business address. You can get a registered agent that'll help you get a real business address, or you can get a virtual address. Those are a lot cheaper. They're like, hey, Herman, I don't have a real building yet. How am I going to afford that? But Regus, Regus, that's a good place where you can go get a virtual address. So you have a real business. You can get a virtual phone number. Also, a good company is called freedomvoice.com, where you can get a 1-800-business phone number, right? And then get a real business email. So my email is info@bellasloanenterprises.com, not bellasloan@gmail. So I'm looking pro because when
So you're
I
not
look,
using the Gmail.
no, I'm not using the Gmail account. No, I got to look pro. So when I go to these banks, I look pro. I look professional. I'm a real business, right? Because you are the mouthpiece of your business. Your business doesn't speak. Chase doesn't speak. The representative is speaking for Chase. So for me too, I am the representative of Bella Sloan Enterprises, a real person, right? Name, number, address, EIN, right? So now I look pro. I can get capital for this business right now, and then we just take it to the next level.
I love that. Now let's go back to something. Let's go back to the company you keep, and we talk about the incredible women you have working for you as well as everyone else. It's very important that people understand, as being an athlete, a former athlete, it's important that sometimes we forget that people that's around us always represent us, and we represent them.
Yes.
And we talk about, we kind of address the company like we have our friends. We say we have our friends, you have associates, you have business partners. Talk about the importance of being a representative of yourself and your group represent each other.
Man, that's heavy. A representation of the brand, of their brands, of who you are is super key. So even I had to learn that. So even my team, they're like, hey, where's your T-shirt? Where's your logo? Where's your Audit Your Circle shirt? Where's your Execute shirt? Where's your Success Has Receipts? Because you're building up a brand, so you are your walking billboard, right? And then even the women around me, right? They are kept clean, manicured, professional at all times wherever they go, because not only are they representing their own businesses, they're also representing the Bella Sloan brand. So when they walk into a room and they're representing me for that day, no, I'm representing Herman Dolce. This is what we do. Here's our pamphlets. Here's what. So the person that's receiving that information is speaking to a Bella Sloan consultant, so they know that I'm good because they are the face of me. So there's certain things that I keep super pro. You saw my Instagram page is super pro, super professional, because I'm trying to attract super pro and super professional and high tier top people at all times. So how I dress is how I want to be addressed.
Ooh, you heard that? You hear that, right? He dropping some Jews out. You
Dropping
better
some
write
Jews.
that down. You're not gonna talk slow. You better listen faster. You listen. That's a fact.
I appreciate that.
Facts. So now we got to transition to like a little lighter topic, but I got to ask you about this is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some favorite restaurants. Let's move into some food categories to make sure we put Philly with this.
So put Philly with it.
I mean, so give me your top 3 places of choice as far as you like to eat.
Top 3, man.
Give me 3. You don't have to be in order.
It don't have to be in order. So a place me and my wife love to go to in Chestnut Hill is called Sin Sin. It's like an Asian infused restaurant. We go there all the time.
Really?
I love it. The second one is a chain restaurant. My wife loves Indian food. She's from Trinidad, so she loves Tiffin. And a third place, what's a good third place I would like to go to? I don't want to be cheesy and say cheesesteaks.
That's the next one,
yeah,
but I'm gonna
yeah.
ask you about that.
We'll get to that. There's a place where we love their chicken cheesesteaks and their pizza. This is in Jenkintown. It's called Venice Pizza.
I've been there.
Yes.
I've been there,
Yeah,
yes,
I
by
love
my
it.
friend. Shout out to my guy Marvin Harrison from Hall of Fame. He took me there. Yeah.
I love it there. I love it there.
Now, so you brought up the cheesesteak thing. In the restaurants, we had nothing to do with cheesesteaks, but now this question is specifically for our Philly people on cheesesteaks. What's your go-to cheesesteak spot?
So listen, if you a real Philadelphian, right? It's not Geno's, it's not Pat's. It's the corner store.
I know you heard some Phillies now.
I know I'm hurting some Phillies.
Only Philadelphia people say that.
But only Philadelphians can say that. But real Philly people know the corner store got the best cheesesteaks in the hood. That's where you're gonna go. They're not gonna let you down. I promise you. I promise you. You're not gonna be let down.
Now, some people refer to them as the Poppy stores.
The Poppy store, right.
It's whatever, but that's the fact. Like,
that's the fact.
You don't have to go to a well-known place. Now, no offense to Passaginos, they have good cheesesteaks, but like your local corner store.
Your local corner store, they're not gonna let you down.
They don't let you
Salt,
down.
pepper, ketchup, grilled onions, they're not gonna let you down.
Fact. Say it again. What you had on?
Salt, pepper, ketchup, onions, grilled onions, hot sauce, not gonna let you down. I promise you.
You don't put no mayo on it?
Nah, I don't put no mayo on it. I'm not a mayo guy. I don't like my cheesesteak too soupy.
Whoa. Listen, what's wrong with soup? Nothing wrong with soup. I'm a fan. Salt, pepper, ketchup, fried onions, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup. I mean,
wow, I
loaded, bro.
After the workout. Okay, you earned it.
You got to pleasure your body. So tell everybody, what are the best platforms to hear you, to see your content always in every asset?
So you can find me at Hatian CEO on all platforms. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. You can find Bella Sloan Enterprises on YouTube, where we give a lot of amazing information, and we're going to be going deeper and deeper into the NIL information on the different platforms and the different resources and partners that we have, like Moolah Mobile. We're working with them to ensure that we get tablets, mobile hotspots, bro.
Talk more about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that, where we talk about these tablets and how we're gonna get them into the hands of so many different people and populations, Title I schools. If you have food stamps, you have an EBT card, you're eligible, because we want to make sure we get these tablets into your hand, bro, because the digital divide is very serious. Wi-Fi can be very expensive, but if we can get hotspots and tablets our goal is to get 100,000 tablets into different homes across the country for free. That is our mission.
I'm sorry, I just want to make sure they didn't hear that. Turn your volumes up.
The internet is free and the tablet is free, right? Because we want to get it into the hands of as many families as possible, because information is key, right? Data is key. Wi-Fi is key, because we got to get you connected with this information. We partnered up with some great people. My partner, Nate, Lauren is spearheading it. Moolah Mobile is spearheading it. It's an amazing government contract where we are helping get these tablets and this information out to everybody. But you can follow me on Hatian CEO on Twitter, on Instagram, Bella Sloan Enterprises on YouTube, where we're going to be talking about this and other financial resources to put everybody in position to win.
I love it. Yeah. Well, y'all hear it here. My man Ray here, Herman Dolce, the Hatian CEO of Bella Sloan Enterprises. I'm Marc Jackson, Marc Jackson Show. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to everybody real soon.
So look, a birdie told me, you have a new master class coming out. Can you kind of to let people know what's up?
Right. So the master class that we got going on is, I get a lot of questions like, hey, Herm, I want to sit down with you. I need a one-on-one. I want to do what you do. I feel passionate about your mission and goal. So we have a program called your Audit Your Circle Mastermind. And what that does is I literally take you step by step in how to start to fund people's businesses and how you can get paid to do it. Because it's really important that I teach people how to fish, like you said. But if I can help you make some income, that's going to be incredible. Everyone needs money, right? So I teach people how to make money and how to sell money through this program where we show you how to fund businesses, show you how to set up your tax company, how to set up your LLC, how to save on, save on taxes, crypto, stocks. It's all one inclusive program that we're doing. It's starting in April, so I'm looking forward to share that with everybody. And that tablet program that I was talking about earlier, my ebook, everybody who gets a tablet, my ebook is going to be on there. So the moment you open it up, you're going to be learning immediately because information is key, data is key, and we want to put everybody in position to win, bro.
I love that. You got merch too, right?
We got merch. Audit Your Circle is part of the brand. Success Has Receipts, Execute, Assets Only, right? So these are amazing products, t-shirts, sweatshirts that we want to brand and put on top of you because what you put on top of you is what you truly are. So assets only, and we want everybody to be successful, and we want everybody to win, and we want to show you how.
That is wonderful, man. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it.
I look forward to it too, bro.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.